You're a better version of yourself if your testosterone levels are thriving. You'll have more energy to win each and every day, more strength and virility so you can move forward through life with confidence. And you'll have a healthier, more efficiently running body. Not to mention that testosterone helps lower depression. So if you want to naturally boost your testosterone levels, this is the video for you. Nowadays, Western diets are filled with processed garbage and estrogenics that are silently killing your testosterone levels. Even if you don't realize it, your diet is sucking your testosterone and your virility dry. Now, before we get into the specific foods that will help you boost testosterone, the packaging of the food is just as important. Within plastics are chemicals called xenoestrogens that increase estrogen and lower testosterone in men, and they seep into your food. So whenever possible, get your food wrapped in foil or paper and avoid plastics as often as possible when it comes to your food and your drink. Now, the food. In this video, we'll be covering the 9 best testosterone boosting foods. Just a heads up, I'll also be tying in how these foods help you build muscle and strength too. Before we get into this list, you have to actually know what a testosterone boosting diet even looks like. All right, so the basics of your testosterone boosting diet. First of all, there are 3 major macronutrients that provide you with energy: protein, carbs, and fat. For optimal results, the food in this video will include sources from each category. Protein. Protein supplies you with amino acids that are building blocks of your muscles. According to the recommended dietary allowance, or RDA, you should be eating 0.8 grams a kilo of protein per day. Now that only comes out to 65 grams per day for someone 180 pounds. But if you do resistance training, which you should be doing, the recommendation needs to be adjusted. A study in the USANA Health Sciences suggests those who do resistance training need much more protein to recover as well as build muscle and strength. Research from Virginia Tech showed that 0.73 grams per pound per day is enough to maximize muscle and strength. Protein doesn't seem to be as important as you'd think for testosterone. According to Volek and colleagues, a high protein to carb or high protein to fat ratio reduces T levels when compared to a diet with more fats and carbs. That's why you need protein sources for muscle, strength, and metabolism, but not such a high amount that you'll hurt your T levels. Protein sources also tend to have important vitamins and minerals, important fatty acids, and have superior absorption to plant sources. So we'll be focusing on animal sources of protein. Now, carbs. Contrary to popular belief, carbs are not inherently bad for you. Including some is most important for energy, mood, and fueling your workouts and even your testosterone levels. A study from the University of North Carolina found that a low-carb diet increased cortisol levels and decreased free testosterone levels. So we definitely want carbs, yet not all are good sources. A study from the University of Sassari showed that gluten in grains raises a hormone called prolactin. Prolactin has been shown to cause a hormone cascade that lowers testosterone and induces erectile dysfunction. Now, fats. This may be more controversial than the carb discussion, but I cannot underestimate the importance of fat in your diet for optimal health and optimal male hormone profile. Research published in the Journal of Steroid Biochemistry compared diets with under 20% of calories coming from fat versus 40% of calories coming from fat. The 20% group saw significantly lower testosterone levels. In terms of specific types of fat, research clearly shows that saturated and monounsaturated fats boost your testosterone levels, but polyunsaturated fats suppress testosterone levels. So I won't shy away from saturated fats from animal sources or monounsaturated fats like olive oil. But we may want to at least limit polyunsaturated fats by reducing consumption of processed cooking oils like canola oil. With all that being said, your daily calorie intake will be split up similar to these recommendations. Fats will be around 35%, carbs will be around 35%, and proteins will be 25 to 30% of your intake. Keep those in mind as we begin the list of 9 testosterone boosting foods. We'll break this down by first going over food sources high in protein, food sources high in carbs, including starches, fruits, and vegetables, and finally fat sources. Number 1 is yogurt. Since yogurt is produced by bacterial fermentation of milk, it has added benefit of pre and probiotics. Some yogurts use pasteurization to kill bacteria through heating, but if you choose an option with active or live cultures, you can improve your digestive health. Besides having an easier time in the bathroom, proper gut health increases testosterone levels in men and even converts cortisol into androgens in the gut. Yogurt also tends to be fortified with vitamin D, which is important considering it's one of the vitamins that most people are deficient in. Research from the University of Colorado at Denver found that up to 74% of people have insufficient vitamin D. Besides being crucial for things like bone health, according to the Medical University of Graz, vitamin D supplementation is a powerful way to improve your testosterone levels. As we know, more testosterone makes it easier to build muscle and strength. And of course, yogurt is a great source of high quality protein. Dairy protein contains two major forms of protein, casein and whey. Casein makes up 80% and provides a slow absorption of amino acids into your blood. Whey protein makes up 20% of the protein content and is much slower digesting, but it contains amino acids crucial for muscle building called branched chain amino acids or BCAAs. These include valine, isoleucine, and leucine. Leucine is the most notable since research by Norton and Lehman has shown that a certain amount is needed to hit the leucine threshold and actually stimulate muscle protein synthesis, which is essentially muscle building. Without leucine, muscle building won't actually be initiated. Number 2 is eggs. Eggs are one of the best sources of protein because they're extremely bioavailable. In fact, eggs are given a biological value of 100 because they have the most readily usable protein. It also contains the healthy fats we discussed earlier, monounsaturated fat and saturated fat. Don't skip out on the egg yolk, that's where all the healthy fat is, in addition to vitamins and minerals. Just take a look at the vitamins and minerals from a single boiled egg according to Healthline. Vitamin A, 6% of the RDA. Folate, 5% of the RDA. Vitamin B5, 7% of the RDA. Vitamin B12, 9% of the RDA. Vitamin B2, 15% of the RDA. Phosphorus, 9% of the RDA. Selenium, 22% of the RDA. Selenium actually is good for testosterone as well. I do want to address the elephant in the room. Doesn't eating eggs increase cholesterol and the risk of heart disease? Yes, it's true that eggs have a high amount of cholesterol, 212 milligrams out of the recommended 300 milligrams. It makes intuitive sense that eggs are dangerous, but the notion falls flat in reality. A study published in Metabolism suggests that consuming cholesterol from eggs doesn't significantly raise your cholesterol levels. Think about it like this. Cholesterol is so prevalent in our bodies, like in our cell membranes. So adding a couple hundred milligrams is actually a very tiny fraction of the existing cholesterol in our bodies. Plus our livers produce cholesterol. So when we have enough, it regulates how much it produces. I should add that eggs technically do help raise HDL cholesterol, but that's considered good cholesterol that actually reduces the risk of heart disease. Research published in the Journal of Internal Medicine ran a study where people ate 2 eggs every day for 6 weeks and increased HDL cholesterol. Number 3 is grass-fed beef. Like I mentioned, animal sources of protein are proven to absorb better. Tons of studies like this one from the Bureau of Nutritional Sciences suggest that plant protein absorbs at least 10% lower than animal protein. Whey protein is usually considered the gold standard for high quality protein. Valenzuela and colleagues compared whey protein and beef protein and found that they lead to similar changes in lean body mass and strength. If you're thinking red meat is terrible for you, studies like the Harvard School of Public Health study found that red meat increases your risk of heart disease and diabetes. But there's a huge caveat. That's for processed red meat. Unprocessed red meat has been shown to have no link to these diseases and can even improve your health, which is exactly why I suggest organic or grass-fed beef. And we can't forget about the high amounts of vitamin B12, zinc, and the highly absorbed iron, which vegans and many people in general tend to not get enough of, all of which are also important for high testosterone levels. Next is bacon. This one might be shocking. The problem lies in either misconceptions about bacon or how it's actually prepared. The fat in bacon is actually 50% monounsaturated. Most of the remaining fat is saturated fat. Both are testosterone boosting healthy fats we want more of. We do want the decreased exposure to processed meat like talked about. So I recommend organic grass-fed bacon in the naturally smoked or plain cut form. I prefer boar bacon myself. Number 5 is potatoes. This is one of the best ones on the list. Some carb sources like grains can be processed so that they are stripped of their important nutrients. Or they can contain gluten, since gluten raises prolactin, which then reduces testosterone. I prefer non-gluten sources of carbs like potatoes. There's a big debate about whether sweet or white potatoes are better. Most will automatically say that sweet potatoes are good for you because they provide steady energy and are packed with nutrients like vitamin A. That's true, but potatoes simply have a different nutrient profile. While potatoes actually have more potassium, which is good for managing blood pressure, the only bad thing about white potatoes is that they tend to be included in highly processed junk like French fries. A simple solution is to stop buying those packaged forms of food and stick with natural white and sweet potatoes, which have vitamin C that's also actually been shown to lower testosterone killing cortisol. 6 is cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables include staples like broccoli and cauliflower. I decided to group cruciferous vegetables together because they are what I call estrogen-killing vegetables. According to research published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences, they contain phytochemicals that have been shown to block estrogen absorption. Due to estrogen in our environment, men nowadays have high estrogen levels that feminize them and reduce their testosterone levels. So don't forget to have a few servings of broccoli, cauliflower, bok choy, kale, collard greens, turnips, or rutabagas. 7. Pomegranate. Throughout history, pomegranates have symbolized fertility. It was thought to enhance sex drive as well. Thanks to research, we now know that pomegranates are a hidden gem for both erectile dysfunction and exercise performance. A study from Boston University showed that pomegranates increase blood flow and erectile response. Another study in 19 athletes found that just 1 gram of pomegranate extract supplies dietary nitrates, which increase blood flow to delay the onset of fatigue and increase energy efficiency. That means you could potentially boost performance in the gym and gain more strength and muscle. Pomegranates are also high in polyphenolic antioxidants that reduce stress and reduce risk of heart disease by helping our blood pressure. A study published in Endocrine Abstracts actually showed that pomegranate juice boosted testosterone by 24%, which is pretty impressive considering this was just one single food item in their diet. Number 8 is grass-fed butter. Grass-fed butter is another great source of saturated fat to boost testosterone. It's also loaded with vitamin K2. In fact, high-fat grass-fed butter is one of the best forms out there. Leafy greens have a lot of vitamin K1, which is important for blood clotting. K2, on the other hand, is higher in animal products and has a unique benefit. Research published in the Journal of Vascular Research found that K2 decalcifies your arteries. That's why research published in the Journal of Nutrition showed that those with the highest intakes of vitamin K2 had a 57% lower risk of dying from heart disease and a 20% lower risk of death from all causes over a 7 to 10 year period. Finally, number 9 is avocados. Of all the foods on this list, avocados are probably the most well known for being a superfood. They're loaded with nutrients like vitamin K, vitamin C, and even more potassium than bananas. Avocados are a food that are very high in fat. Fortunately, 71% of the fat is T-boosting monounsaturated fat. It contains oleic acid, the same monounsaturated fat included in olive oil. According to University of California, Davis Medical Center, avocados are known to fight inflammation and improve heart health. As you can see by this list, if you want to boost testosterone, build muscle, and have unstoppable virility, you need healthy food sources from all food categories. Even when you have that in check, you still may want to even higher T levels. There are testosterone lowering estrogens in our shampoo, water bottles, food supply, deodorant, and everywhere you'd least expect, even the plastic covering on our food. Plus, every year men lose up to 2% of their testosterone according to National Institutes of Health. That's where manboost comes in. Manboost is my industry-leading formula to lower estrogen and raise testosterone and aid in braid function. It contains no fillers, no proprietary blends that so many companies use to hide what's actually in the supplement. manboost contains 4 of the most powerful testosterone boosting, estrogen blocking ingredients on the planet. Number 1 is zinc picolinate, which has been found to raise testosterone, even reduce estrogen activity by 57%. Next is resveratrol vesasorb, which increases the amount of protein star to increase cholesterol to testosterone in your testes and has been shown to boost T levels by 51%. IC3, a rare molecule that causes you to flush estrogen out through the liver. Boron, which has been shown to increase free testosterone by 28% and decrease free estrogen by 39% and reduce vitality, killing inflammation. You can grab manboost through the link below. Those were the 9 testosterone boosting foods. Make sure you stock up on them and grab Man Boost, and you'll be on your way to sky high testosterone levels. Talk soon.